This is Rob Tebbett for Boxing Social. Absolutely privileged to be joined today here at Peacock's Gym by British boxing royalty, Lennox Lewis. There he is, he's still got it. How are you, Lennox?
I'm good, I'm very good. Flew in yesterday and I feel good.
So you're here to promote your show, Undisputed, Lennox Lewis, on September the 6th at the Indigo O2. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's really just going down memory lane. I'm bringing back all my fights. People can ask me questions. Some of my celebrity friends are going to be there. Russell Peters is going to be there, my good friend. A lot of people didn't know that he used to go to the fights with me, and he was just a little kid back then. So it was great to see him grow up and be a great comedian. And Vitaly Klitschko is going to be there. Obviously, he's going to want to know why didn't we have that rematch. So, and then people are going to be asking me all types of different questions, and there's going to be a little music there as well. So it's a good night. So come, make it a date. Don't be late. September 6th at the Indigo O2.
You can still sell something, can't you? You can still, whether it's a fight or an evening, you've still got that, haven't you?
You know why? Because it's my thing. I can sell my thing all night. Come, make it a date. Don't be late.
So you're going to have a trip down memory lane on September the 6th. I'd like to do something similar today. I won't tread too much on what I'm sure you've got planned on September the 6th. Something that's okay. We'll be okay. We've got good microphones here at Boxing Social, champ. So where were we? Yes, taking a step down memory lane. I want to talk to you a little bit about your legacy. Something that is sort of apparent in boxing these days is that the heavyweight division is back, the heavyweight division is this, the heavyweight division is that, but your name still lingers. People still refer to Lennox Lewis, the undisputed heavyweight champion. As I understand it, when you're boxing, you don't necessarily get caught up in that stuff. Now you've had some time away from the ring. What's that like to sort of still see your name linked with these heavyweights?
Great, it's great. I mean, you know, I've always told people that I'm like fine wine. You know, I get better in time, and you know, people look around, see what's happening around them, and then look back at me and can compare. So I'm glad that they have me to compare.
Is that something that you ever thought would happen when you were active? I mean, during the time that you were active, you were so dominant that, you know, there wasn't really many challenges presented to you as a heavyweight. Now it's sort of gone the other way, and people are sort of looking back and reminiscing on sort of a golden era which you were a part of.
Yeah, it's great that they can reminisce, and even September 6th, we can actually reminisce even more at the Indigo O2. You can ask me about anything that you were concerned about in my career. You know, I get asked all kinds of questions like, you know, have I had sex before a fight? I'm like, that's a personal question there. But maybe at the O2, I'll answer it.
That's another plug. We're 3 minutes in. We've had one per minute so far. I want to talk to you something. Another thing that sort of, it's kind of a modern-ish type thing with the Floyd Mayweather era of boxing. Everybody's talking about the O. You're somebody who, it's no secret, you suffered defeats in your career and you learned from that. What do you think that people can learn from the way that you conducted yourself after losses and how you responded when talking about fighters who are, quote-unquote, protecting their O's?
True. The good question. You know, I think if I didn't suffer a loss, you know, I wouldn't be as great as I am, because you need to go through some trials and tribulations, and you know, losing is a big trial and tribulation. A lot of us can't really come back and fight back from a loss. You know, it's like life. There'd be losses in life in the sense that, oh, you lose a job, or you lost your paycheck, or something happens negatively in your life that you have to be able to come back from. So for me, you know, when I lost the first time, I knew my mistake straight away, and I knew that wouldn't happen to me again. It did happen to me again, but it was a different mistake. And I knew that mistake wouldn't happen to me again, but it was being able to come back from it. You know, I had people saying, oh, so what are you going to do with the rest of your career? I'm like, what are you talking about, rest of my career? Muhammad Ali, great hero of mine. He lost 3 times. He came back 3 times. So if Muhammad Ali can do it, I can do it. So that's what I put my goal on, being able to come back from this defeat and making this defeat make it a championship, and make it so that, you know, the road back is hard, but it's fair.
Now you talk of that road back. Somebody who was very, very pivotal in that road back was Emanuel Steward,
Yes.
who is somebody who had a huge influence not only over your career but your life. How important was he in making that development, and what kind of relationship did you have? And now he's gone, what are your fondest memories of your time with Emanuel Steward?
Well, me and Emmanuel met in my amateur days, and I remember him coming up to me and saying, "Hey, you're a good boxer, man. I'm watching you." So I always kept that in mind, and then we met a little later in our professional careers. And at the time when I wanted him to train me, he was training other people. So he was training Mike Tyson and Oliver McCall at the time. So still wasn't the time for me and him to get together. So it was at my loss, when I lost to Oliver McCall, was when he really stepped into my life. He didn't really want to work with Oliver McCall because, obviously Oliver McCall had some problems. So that's when we first got together. And when we first got together, I realized that, hey, this man speaks great. He psychs me up. He tells me things that, I need to know about myself. He tells me I want to be a champion, and I'm like, I need to believe that more too. So he was great coming into my life and becoming my trainer. And, taking me through a development, making me a better person, better boxer, he did. And what he did, he didn't take away from my style. He added to it. He dialed me in. He perfected me in one sense. That's why, I come out with the thing, pugilist specialist, So I'm a specialist at it. I worked at it. Somebody said, you better be good on the inside and the outside. And I said, you're right. So I wanted to be a complete fighter.
Without that guidance, without somebody as knowledgeable as Emanuel Steward, who had obviously taken an interest in your career for so long, how do you think your career would have panned out had you not have linked up with Emanuel Steward?
I don't know how it would have panned out. All I know, it happened at the right time, and one can never tell what could happen in the future. All I know is that everything happened, and it was the right time to happen.
Back to today's heavyweights, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. It seems like there's this kind of this negotiations which has kind of taken centre stage as well as the fighters these days. Reminds me a little bit of you and Riddick Bowe. Now, when you look back on your career, I know that you're not somebody who strikes me as somebody who has a lot of regrets, but do you see similarities between yourself and Riddick Bowe and what's currently going on with the likes of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder?
Yes, I do. Definitely a lot of similarities. It seems like, the promoters are controlling who fights and what happens, not the boxers, when it really should be the fighters. They're the ones that are stepping in the ring. They're the ones that are taking their life in hand by stepping in the ring. They're the ones that are receiving all the punches, so they should get the rewards, and they should be able to say what happens with their careers. So, for me, and even Oscar, we were the first boxers to really step out and promote ourselves. And I was glad that I was able to make that move. And, everything good came from it.
Do you think that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, when they're retired, if they don't fight each other, will look back on it with regrets?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm sure Riddick Bowe looks back at it. I seen him. I asked him the question, why we didn't fight? And, he asked me the same question as well. And I'm like, dude, we should have fought. You said, when I was getting my gold medal, oh, I see you in the pros, Lewis. But it never happened. So, that's down to him. And I'm sure he regrets it. And he's the one that should have let it happen.
No, I won't be so forward as to ask you the result of you versus these modern days. I know you're somebody who's a firm believer in different eras and different heavyweights.
Thank you.
But I'm not going to ask. But which of, say, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder do you think would have presented you, beg your pardon, with the most difficult fight from a stylistic point of view?
Just because of his size, and I would say Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury would have been like a little mess in the sense of it would have took me a lot more rounds to kind of work him out.
What do you make of his fight with Deontay Wilder? A lot of people saying that it could potentially be too soon for Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, big knockout artist. What's your views on that fight?
I don't think it's too soon. I think it's at the right time. I think, I'm glad that Tyson Fury stepped up to the plate in that sense. And, people want to see great fights. They want to see the big guys box. They want to see who would win. This is the era of like, let's let's find out. Let's put these guys together. Let's see who the champion is. You know, this is what the fan wants to see, so it's important.
Do you think that's because obviously you had your comments recently about Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, that you believe Deontay Wilder wants to fight, and you believe that Anthony Joshua should push for that fight? If you were Anthony Joshua, or say in your day, if this very public negotiations was going on, would you have put your foot down and demanded the fight?
Yeah, man, 50 million, I'll take that in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, everybody's their own person. Anthony Joshua obviously has his own thing, what he wants to do, and his own timeline. You asked me about my timeline, so me, I would grab that.
You're somebody who has been around the block and back again. You've worked with some of the most knowledgeable people in boxing. You fought, indeed, some of the best fighters in boxing. Now I understand that you're doing your own thing with kids in Jamaica and Canada and soon to be over in the UK. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
League of Champions is Lennox Lewis League of Champions Foundation. And what we do, we take young kids and we bring them to camp and we teach them how to box, and we have life lessons. Learning how to win, learning how to be a champion, setting goals for each other, conflict resolutions, all these different things we do for a complete 10 days, sometimes 7, in Jamaica, these different places, Canada, soon to be England, and we love doing it, and the remarkable what it does to these young kids. It gives them a sense of being, gives them confidence, and we love doing it as well.
Okay, well, Lennox Lewis, it's been an absolute honour to sit here and do this interview with you. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to seeing you on September the 6th at the O2 at the Indigo. See, I've plugged it that time.
Yeah. Don't be late, make it a date.
Lennox Lewis, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you.
Thank you.